I'd like to introduce now Nebras Jamali, who's our third speaker, the third AUB alumni. And Nebras's story, I was unaware of until this evening. I thought Nebras is an actor, he's getting really well known, he's getting busy. We're lucky to have him here tonight. I think he probably always wanted to be an actor. Maybe this is the linear career path going to the creative industries. But no, he studied 4 years to be an economist. So anyway, Nebras.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Nebras Jamali. I'm originally from Amsterdam, Holland. I grew up there, was born there. Yes, and I studied economics for 4 years in high school, which I did not enjoy at all. If you ask me any economical questions right now, I would not be able to answer it. But I think that's because I never enjoyed doing it. And the reason why I did economics is because of my parents. They've always wanted me to become a businessman or a doctor or a lawyer, which I didn't want to. But I never looked into acting because of that. But when I moved to the UK about 10 years ago, and I saw how big the opportunity here is, and there's, you've got drama schools and arts universities where you can study it and you can actually pursue it as a real career if you work hard enough for it. So when I moved to the UK by myself back in 2010, I was all by myself. So like I didn't have my parents around, I didn't have my friends around to tell me that I couldn't do it. So I chose to do it and enrolled myself into a college studying performing arts for 2 years behind my parents' back. They thought I was studying business here in the UK. But I know. But I didn't think of them coming over. So the second year when they came over to the UK, and they were asking me all these business questions, how's it going? I was like, yeah, it's going all right, 1 + 1 is 2, and all that kind of stuff. It's all going well. But when I graduated, that's when I broke it down to them that I want to become an actor, and this is really what I want to do. They were shocked. They said to me that it's not really stable career to follow. Anything could happen. It could go wrong. You can blow, but you can most likely for them they thought that I was just not gonna accomplish it. But when when I enrolled myself into university after college, did that behind their backs as well. I had to. But when I got into university, when I got into the Arts University of Bournemouth, that's when they really saw an opportunity in me. They're like, okay, you might be able to do this. So just do it and, see what happens. So I made a deal with them. I told them that if I do graduate, get signed with an agent, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. And they were okay with that. So I was like, cool, deal. And so, I enrolled myself into the Arts University of Bournemouth, did an audition, got in. And I absolutely loved it. I think I got accepted by 3 other universities. Bournemouth was the 4th one that I auditioned for, and I fell in love with. And the reason why I fell in love with it is as soon as my first day, my first audition I did here, I walked into the university and I fell in love with it straight away because of the creativity. As soon as I walked in, you hear music, you can see people shooting a scene outside, you see photographers working outside, you see illustrators working out. It's just a very creative environment. And I felt home, I felt like I was quite a shy person, quite closed up, not really confident. It's another reason why I chose to do acting, is so that it boosts up my confidence. But when I got surrounded in the AUB environment, I felt like I could be myself because everyone else was themselves. So I opened up a bit more about myself, and I just did my thing really. And the support here is just amazing. I like back in college, back in London, I didn't get as much as support. They were always telling me like, oh, you could do this, you could do that, but you always have to be careful of certain things. But over here at the AUB, they were just telling me, do it, just be confident, and yeah, and so and the set of skills they offered me as well was great. Obviously, they're not gonna guarantee you anything, but that's all up to you. All they do is just they give you the set of skills. You go out there and you do it, and you make your own, and that's exactly what I did. But yeah, when I graduate, I didn't even graduate. I got signed with an agent in my third year production. All of our students, we all invited agents over, and I think from the 300 agents we invited, only like 5 or 6 came through, which was more than enough, and that's how it always goes. From the 400 emails you send, only 3 or 4 come back to you. So yeah, they came and they saw my performance. They loved me, got signed, and within the first week of being signed, they got me 3 auditions. One of them was the Looming Tower, which I got offered a role in. Flew to South Africa the second week with the help of Doug Cockle, which was at the time the course leader of the acting course. He allowed me to go and do this. And yeah, from there it just all went well, I guess. I mean, from the Looming Tower, they offered me another role in Baghdad Central, which comes out next year, January 2020. And then straight after that, I got offered another role in Argo, which is a BBC drama. And yeah, that's how it kind of went for me. It went all really fast. Like unfortunately, I didn't have a chance to graduate, which was my parents' dream, to, be dressed in the gown and graduate with all my other peers. But I guess, if opportunity comes, you got to grab it and take it and not let it go. So yeah, that's kind of my story of how it all went. But yeah, I'd say, I've always listened to what people say, and I've always listened to what they wanted me to do until I decided to follow what I want to do, and not listen to them. I mean, it's very important to listen to your parents. I'm 27 years old and I still listen to my parents because I think that's, they give the best advice. They've been through life. They know the best. But I also think that not all parents know what their sons or daughters really, really, really want. And I think sometimes they're scared to say what they want, because that was me. I was a bit embarrassed of telling my parents I want to do acting, or tell my friends back in Holland that I want to do acting, because I'll just get laughed at. And that's maybe because of age. We were very young. But as I grew up, I took matters into my own hands and kind of had to man up and say to them, this is what I want to do. This is my life. This is, this is my career. And yeah, and so I did it with some lies. But yeah, I if you really want to do something, you gotta stick to it. Either it's fashion, or it's costume design, or illustration, or photography. If you really want to do it, you gotta keep your head to it and just stick to it and do it. I always say nothing is impossible. Nothing, honestly. I've never thought that I would be able to act in front of a camera, but yeah, here I am, thanks to AUB, of course. So yeah, that's my story.